Hi everyone and welcome back to another VLUNE video. Today I'm going to talk you through some of my early pregnancy favourites. So these are bits and pieces that I bought quite early on when we found out that we were pregnant, that I have relied on or that I've come to love even, and that I've really enjoyed using. Now there's nothing here that hasn't been thought of before. There's nothing very original, but I just wanted to say what personally to me I have really enjoyed using, and hopefully some of you might find it quite interesting. I really liked watching these videos when I first found out we were pregnant because it gave me kind of inspiration, things to look out for. And really prior to this whole experience, this pregnancy journey, as cheesy as that sounds, I really didn't have a clue what I was doing. I didn't know what maternity leggings were the best ones. I didn't know which book or pillow I should buy. So these are just some things that I have bought and things that I would recommend. So I'm gonna get straight into it before we're here for the longest intro ever. I'm gonna start off with probably one of the most obvious and not very unique favourites. This is a stretch mark cream. So I bought this on Amazon literally the week we found out we were pregnant. I just was like, right, what can I buy that's baby related but not baby related? And I thought from pretty early on I'm going to want to start moisturising. I thought even if I don't get stretch marks straight away, it's obviously always good to moisturise. So I've been using this hand in hand with my Garnier Summer Body Gradual Tanning Lotion as well. This is the Palmer's Cocoa Formula Stretch Mark Lotion, and this I really have been enjoying using. I find that I really enjoy the smell of this. I never used to. I used this when I was like a teenager, when I first got stretch marks, because I've had stretch marks for quite a while. I soon gave up on it, but I thought that I would give it another go, and I do really enjoy the smell of this. It is really divine. Not too heavily scented, but there definitely is a scent, and I find that it sinks into the skin really beautifully, and it's just a really nice lotion. I haven't noticed that it's kind of reduced my stretch marks or anything like that. I've really been using this mostly for dryness. I have been getting quite a lot of dry skin on my tummy area as it has been growing. Obviously with stretch marks you can't prevent them. I have read that if you're going to get them, you're going to get them. I think it's more to do with genetics, and obviously I've had them for years and years anyway. So stretch marks for me personally aren't a massive concern, but if you are after a stretch mark cream, I did Google like what's the best one out there, and this one came up. If not the top one, it was definitely top 3. You can get some that are way more expensive. This is just kind of like what you'd expect from a drugstore. I think it was about between maybe £6 to £8, and I really like that it's got a pump on it as well, because it's not as messy as it could be. You don't have to, like, they do a tummy butter I think that you have to scoop out of a tub, and I hate stuff that gets under my nails, so this is perfect for me. Next I have 3 books, and they're all very different, and I bought them at different stages of my pregnancy, but I have enjoyed reading them all so far. So the first one Tommy actually came home with the day we found out we were pregnant. He was actually on jury service, and he came home with this tiny little jellycat elephant that we'd seen in Edinburgh. We'd seen a big one of it, a big version, and I said to him, I really like that, but I wish they did it in a tiny one because I think it would be cuter, and he went and found one. And he also bought this book. So this is My Pregnancy 2018, and it is probably like a full guide to pregnancy. Probably the only pregnancy book you would really need. Everything is in here, and I really enjoyed having this from very early on because it talks about everything from right from the beginning, and it kind of settles your mind. It talks about everything that you could possibly need to know about what appointments you need to book, who you need to talk to, how you might be feeling. It talks about feeling worried and anxious. It talks about changes to your body, and it kind of goes through everything week by week as well, which I really enjoyed. There is just a lot of information in here, and I would definitely recommend it if you're after something that's just kind of like a general scope of everything. This is a really good one. Then I also ordered this book, and it's called How to Grow a Baby and Push It Out by Clemmy Hooper, who is actually a midwife, and she's written this book. I'd seen so many people talk about this on the internet, and I just wanted to give it a go. This is again one that talks, kind of goes through stuff week by week, then it also touches on more specific topics, and I like this because it's written in a real woman's voice, whereas the other book that I just mentioned, it's a lot more kind of factual. Obviously this is factual, but it's it comes across more factual, scientific, almost like a school textbook, which is good because you've got everything there where you need it. But this just comes across a little bit more relatable, and it's you know, it's a little bit more light-hearted as pregnancy can be. It says here, everything you wanted to know but were too embarrassed to ask, a guide to pregnancy and birth straight from the midwife's mouth. I really like this. It's one that I would definitely recommend again. I have liked having a few different ones just to kind of compare them and see which I prefer, and obviously they offer different advice and different tips too. And then the last book is the Positive Birth Book, a new approach to pregnancy, birth and the early weeks. This one is much more kind of following the hypnobirthing route and focusing on actual childbirth and labour and having a positive pregnancy. So it's all focused on kind of positive thoughts, positive thinking, how to get the most out of your pregnancy. And it does kind of cross over a little bit with the other books because obviously they're talking about pregnancy and labour, and you can't veer too far away. At the end of the day, the end goal is the same, but this one is more focused on mindset and lifestyle and just how to make the most of your pregnancy. And from day one, it's something that's been really, really important to me because obviously this is my first baby and I've never been pregnant before, and I wanted to really embrace this and kind of get the most out of it that I could possibly get out of it and just really, really enjoy it. And obviously I knew I was going to be faced with challenges and that every day wasn't going to be happy-go-lucky, but as much as I can, I want to really, really enjoy this. So this has really helped with that. On the back it says, work out what kind of birth you really want and learn how to maximise your chances of getting it in this refreshing, warm and witty guide to pregnancy, birth and the early weeks. Kind of, it comes across like it's written by women for women, as again, as cheesy as that sounds, but again, a really, really good one. And I think these are all like top sellers on Amazon, and it's easy to see why. So just before I start talking about like clothing and items like that, I just wanted to talk about a couple of apps. So I've got my phone, and the first one that I downloaded was the Ovia Pregnancy App, because if you watched our conception video, you'll know that I was using the Ovia Conception, or I think it was Ovia Fertility, before we got pregnant. I now have the Ovia Pregnancy App. It looks a little bit like this. So you get, right, I don't know how much this is going to be able to show you, but you have like these little 4 squares at the top and your little profile picture. And basically this updates every single day and also gives weekly updates that are much more in-depth and explain things in a lot more detail. So the little quad that you get at the top, actually you get little pictures of what the size the baby's hand would be. So if you can see the grey outline, that's how big they expect baby's hand to be when he gets here, and the yellow in the middle is how big they expect baby's hand to be now. And they have the same one for the feet. And then basically, so today's baby development update is that there's a good chance that baby is already having REM sleep or REM sleep and is therefore dreaming. Yesterday it was baby is gulping down several ounces of amniotic fluid each day to develop his breathing. There's a calendar on here, so it's really easy to see how many weeks you'll be at certain days, and you can pop all your doctor's appointment in there. You can put things like symptoms in there and how you're feeling and what kind of vitamins you're taking and what you've eaten and stuff like that, but I haven't really bothered with that because I don't know, just every day to do that, it just seems a little bit much. But I've really enjoyed the updates. The weekly updates are probably the best because they go through everything, how you should be feeling that week, how big baby is. So this week baby is the size of a guinea pig or a paper aeroplane. As I'm filming this, we're 20 weeks pregnant, but you might be seeing it when we're 21. I've just really, really enjoyed it. You can kind of go through and see how big baby will be for the next coming weeks. And it just has lots of articles on there about choosing baby names, things you should be eating, why, and just general information. So it's been nice to have somewhere else to go to for information. The other app that I've really been enjoying using is Pregnancy Plus, and this one is obviously the layout's a little bit different, so you get this little picture of what baby might look like inside, and it's again the same, so it just kind of gives you lots of tips and advice. So again, that's just another point of reference and something that I've enjoyed using. They're both free, but the Pregnancy Plus app, I think, to see the baby updates and the size of baby in the womb and what the scans might look like and how big baby might be at a certain date, you have to pay I think $2.99 for. And there's also I think a contraction counter and a kick counter on that one as well. So I have paid for the upgrade, but obviously I've not used the contraction counter yet because it's too early, I haven't had any. Clothing wise, I've kind of struggled a little bit with maternity wear, and I've heard that this is a thing across the board, and I I can see why it's made me very, very tempted to start my own maternity line, because we went to Topshop the other day and their Topshop, so the maternity range on Topshop is extensive online. In store, we went to the one at Trafford Centre in Manchester, which I think is the second biggest in the UK after Oxford Street, and they had like 5 different styles of maternity jeans, 2 dresses and 3 tops, and that was your lot. And it was just like, you know, it just isn't good enough. And H&M, I find a lot of the maternity stuff is a bit frumpy. ASOS really has been the place that I've found the best for maternity stuff, that's been still quite stylish and on trend, but then has allowed for a baby bump as well. So anyway, I'm going to be doing like haul videos and stuff on maternity clothing, but these are just a couple of favourites that I've found that kind of basics. But the first one is a maternity bra. So these actually come as a 2-pack. I'm going to show you the black one because I'm wearing the white one. You might be able to see it's very unflatteringly looks like I'm wearing a vest underneath this t-shirt, which is very thin because it's just from Primark. But this is what it looks like. So they are not very sexy. I'll clip it up a little bit. This one actually has 4 clipping adjustments on the back. So basically the idea is that you can just obviously extend them as you grow bigger around your back. And this one didn't actually have a size as in 34DD or whatever your bra size would be. They came in small, medium, large, extra large, and so on. And as I said, they're a 2-pack. So this is the black one. It's just a very standard nursing maternity bra, and you've got the clips at the front, which obviously will come in handy when I am breastfeeding baby. They just clip off really easily. These were from Marks and Spencer's. I went for a fitting and I said to the woman, this is my first pregnancy, I have no idea what I need, but all I know is that my bras at the moment are getting quite uncomfortable. So she said you could pretty much choose from anything. It doesn't have to be a maternity bra at this stage because obviously you're not breastfeeding, but you will want something that doesn't have a wire underneath. So they're very much like a sports bra really. This one has a little bit of padding. I'll link them down below. She said they were the best sellers that Marks and Spencer's do. I tried on a few of them. They had some pretty lace type ones in black and white that she said I didn't really fit into at this stage, but in the coming weeks it might be something that I want to invest in another couple and that I can fill them a little bit more because they weren't quite right around the cup. But I've really enjoyed these. They feel so much more comfortable and they've got quite a nice thick elastic band at the bottom, so they're very comfortable just to sit on top of bump and they don't feel uncomfortable. It doesn't really feel like I'm wearing anything, but they offer support as well, which is obviously a bonus. And then the other thing is just a pair of maternity leggings. These ones actually are from ASOS, and I didn't really order these for any particular reason. I bought some from H&M and they were just ginormous. So I got these off ASOS. I find ASOS a lot easier to kind of buy things from and send them back. And I got these in a size 12 and they're basically just your standard pair of black leggings, apart from when you put them on you know that you can tell there's a lot more material at the front to cater for the bump basically. But I found these have washed very well. They're really soft. They've stayed black. I've worn them day in day out if I'm in the house and I'm just kind of like doing housey jobs, or if I come home but it's too early really to get into pajamas. I've found these really comfortable. I've worn them to every single kind of midwife appointment that we've had or any scan that we've had, because obviously I can't really wear a dress because you've got to roll things down so they can get to your tummy, whereas if I was wearing a dress then everything would just be on show. So I've worn these quite a lot and I've really enjoyed them, so I'll link those down below as well. And then the last thing, which I bought around 12 weeks, and really I started using it straight away but really didn't. I started using it first of all to support my back, and then it's only been the last kind of 4 weeks, so from 16 weeks onwards, that I've used it around my front. And this is a pregnancy pillow. Now obviously this is going to be quite difficult for me to show you, but it's grey and it's the one that is kind of like almost like a coat hanger shape, like a half moon almost. And this is a micro beaded pregnancy pillow. It's not like an actual normal bed pillow, if that makes sense. I wanted something that had the micro beads in so that it was very kind of flexible and that I could move it to how I wanted it, make it firmer in places rather than it just being an actual pillow. And I found that it's been really handy for that. It's done exactly what I've wanted. If you can see there's quite a lot of movement. This is from Jojo Maman bib, I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure how much it was. It wasn't the cheapest pregnancy pillow, I have to say. Obviously this is going to be something that I keep for any future pregnancies if we are lucky to go through this again, or if indeed we want to after we've had the first. But I've really enjoyed this, and I kind of now sleep on it. I had to Google how to use a pregnancy pillow because I had no idea, but I now sleep on it. I kind of cuddle this bit. Tom hates it because I no longer cuddle him, I've got this, but I cuddle this bit around my front, and then obviously the bit in the middle curves to allow room for the bump, and then I put a leg underneath it and a leg on top of the bit that's kind of like by my legs lengthways at the bottom, and I just found it really comfortable, and I'm really glad that I invested in one, and it was one that I wanted. It wasn't just something that I thought, oh well, that I'll make do with that. It's one that I researched, and I really enjoyed it and would definitely recommend it. It's a really good one. So that is everything that I've got to talk about. They are all my favourites. As far as pregnancy essential kind of early basic things go in my book, these have all been the things that I've really enjoyed the most. So I really hope you enjoyed this and that you found it useful if you are pregnant or thinking about having a baby, or even if you just like watching these videos. I hope you're having a lovely day. Please do subscribe if you did enjoy, and I will see you all tomorrow with my next video.